Good morning. Excited to have another game week. It's nice when they're back-to-back without a break in it. Really pleased with our effort this last weekend over a much improved UNLV team. I liked how our guys started, how we finished. We're making improvements in all three phases, and it was a good, hard-fought win. We know this week with San Diego State, we got to go on the road playing for the oil can. It's been a long storied rivalry that really goes deep and matters a lot in recruiting, obviously. Being in the CSU, being in the same division, it's huge ramifications for that. We know we're going to go against a power running team with two really solid running backs and a very stingy defense that traditionally does a great job against the run and does a lot of stuff to confuse you as far as pressures. So with that, we're looking forward to the competition and whatever questions y'all have.
Coach, the homecoming victory had plenty of Fresno State flavor in it, current and past. What's been the best feedback you've gotten in the community as much as you've been able to get out the last couple of days since that big win?
Well, I think we definitely got a good vibe from our former players. Feeling reconnected to the program, which is one of our big goals here, is making those guys feel like what they did, lay the groundwork for what we have today, and want them to feel a permanent part of this program. And I want our current players to realize that Bulldog football doesn't just last 4 or 5 years, that it's a lifetime commitment, and you'll always have a connection with Bulldogs of the past and Bulldogs that come beyond us. And so I think that reconnection really helped. It was really neat to see Coach Tarkanian out here and for him to be honored in a UNLV game, with his connections obviously with that school and ours, made it special. And then of course, just getting the win was nice.
And you got the touchdown out of the T formation on the third try. It would have been try number 4 if you didn't get in there. Would you have gone for it again?
It probably would have depended where we were at, but I thought we executed that very well. We hadn't seen UNLV go into that defense coming into our game. When we went to the T, they came out in a gap 8 that was a little bit of a surprise to us. They did a good job stuffing us on the inside run, and the counterplay ended up working pretty good, and we blocked it well, and Juice got in. So again, that was a little tip of the cap to Coach Sweeney in his old T-heavy days, as a little reminder to the old school guys that we appreciate what they did.
Another Sweeney staple was the vertical passing game, and you guys showed that right off the bat. How fun was that? Because most teams this year have played you to take that away, and this team didn't.
Well, we thought coming in that UNLV played very aggressively with their corners. They were going to play man coverage. You can take a lot of the underneath throwing game away playing that aggressive style. We thought, we had to, loosen them up a little bit to do what we wanted to do. And I thought Coach Schramm and our offensive guys came up with a great plan as far as, wanting to test these guys vertically. When you got Derek and Devontae, it's a pretty good, answer to people trying to, play you that way. So I thought we executed that really, really well. Derek did a great job of avoiding the guy and, extending the play a little bit, and threw it 60-some yards on the money. So great way to start the game.
Questions? Did you guys go on film? How far was that ball in the air?
I didn't actually mark it off. I'm sure probably Derek did just to prove it to me, but
he wasn't throwing.
He just flung it.
Right. He wasn't completely set. He was kind of moving on that, right? That wasn't.
Yeah. No. He moved to his left to avoid a rusher, and then just kind of flung it out there. He saw Devontae and hit him right in the stride. So it was impressive.
Had to be pretty close to 60 because I think he caught it on the 22, so maybe high 50s. Another question on Derek and Devontae and the whole offense. Your third down conversion rate, about double what it usually is. What do you think made the difference there?
Well, we didn't drop any balls the entire game, which was key. I think our guys were really, really focused in. Third down, red zone has been a huge emphasis for us this year, and we're getting better. I think we had some third shorts that we ran, and then the time we didn't convert on it, I talked to Dave beforehand and told him, hey, we're going to go 2 downs here. Let's try to get half of it. And Sometimes you don't, you'd love to get it on third down, but you don't necessarily feel you have to because we're going for it on fourth down anyway. So to see us get it, the fourth down play, fourth and short on a running play was good to see.
You had 4th and 4 and you got it on the ground. I mean, doesn't that say a lot for how far your running game has come?
Oh, it really does. And again, that play, Derek gets us in the right play. We give him an option depending on how they're trying to defend us. And 4th and 4, I think probably smart-wise, they decided to try to loosen the box up and defend the pass. Well, when we get this thing going the right way, we should be able to get 4 or 5 yards when we need to with a light box. And it was good to see that in a critical time where we needed to do it, our guys executed it.
And that was Martez. I guess you won't know for sure what his story is till the end of the day?
Yeah, I think he's going to an MRI as we speak, so we probably won't know until later this afternoon.
Coach, Derek leaving his feet for the second time this season. I know you love the aggressiveness, but is that something that you guys have talked about that you might want to see less of?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about it less and not have it happen anymore. Again, I love his competitive nature. I love the fact that he wants to do whatever it takes, but he's also got to be very, very smart. There's a reason that we limit our opportunities for him to, be a force in our quarterback run game. Because he'd be excellent in it, but the more shots you take, the likelihood of you getting injured goes up. And same thing when you go up in the air. And I don't know if he got confused as to where he was, but he wasn't going to be jumping in the end zone from the 5-yard line. We had to remind him on the sideline, he's not Superman. He maybe Batman, but not Superman.
Some of the wrinkles that you've shown this season, I know you tried twice with Watson lining up behind center, and then that one play with the double pass reverse through the interception. Now that you guys can look back on the game, was that a good play call, just wrong execution because Isaiah didn't seem to have an open guy downfield? Yeah,
we didn't execute that very well. Probably took an unnecessary chance. I probably should have just said, hey, let's go with a different play. Because earlier they did a decent job. We were thinking about double passing it earlier, and Isaiah had made a smart decision and pulled it. It looked like it was there. He didn't realize there was, a safety coming over the top. And their kid made a heck of a play, and IB laid it up a little bit too much air on it. So you live and learn from those things. Again, we're a work in progress. So yeah, we got to execute it better, but we probably could have helped them without going with that play call.
Coach, can you talk about your defense putting up a shutout for the first time in the second half this season, and how proud you were of that little stat?
Yeah, I think we're making strides as a defense. Particularly the last 2 games, our guys are playing faster. They're making more plays. Our tackles for loss and our sacks are going up. We're much more efficient against the run. But while we're efficient, we give up 2 explosive plays that you can't do, especially 70-whatever yard variety. Right after we went up at 21-0, and it's a basic play that we just did a poor job of fitting our execution. But even with that, with those 2 plays for 90 yards, I think we're under 300 for the game, which is pretty good standard because they've been leading 500 yards on the last couple of opponents they had.